Do you ever wake up in the morning and say to yourself, what in the world is going on? The whole place went to hell in a handbag and you don't even own a handbag. I'm telling you, if you want Xanax through your hearing aids, then this is the thing you should do. You should listen to the Randi Lupo Show because she covers everything from comedians to writers and everything in between. She's entertaining and informative at the same time. She's everything that you wished your mother-in-law would be, and she isn't. But Randi, she was born in Brooklyn, New York, a different Brooklyn than most, a two-bears old Brooklyn. Randi brings his unique outlook to the show, and Lord knows we do need a different outlook. So now, put down your lattes, get your fat ass sitting down wherever you are, because you're about to see and hear something you never heard before. And that's our host, Randi Lupo.
April is Autism Awareness Month. So this month I have 3 wonderful guests in the studio. I have Bridget Taylor. She's co-founder and executive director of the Alpine Learning Center. Welcome, Bridget.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Oh, I'm so happy you're here. And we have Mary Taylor, singer and songwriter.
Bridget's
sister, who's going to be doing a fundraiser for autism awareness. And we have a former student of the Alpine Learning Center, Jodi. Welcome, Jodi.
Hi.
Hi, thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Bridget, how did you start this school, the Alpine Learning Center? How did this come about?
Well, this was back in 1988, if you can believe it, when there were no schools for children with autism in the Bergen County area. And I was doing some work with families, helping them implement treatment in their homes. And back then, there wasn't very much known about what worked for children with autism. And so the children were making pretty good progress. They were learning some skills, and the families a few of the families felt that they wanted to start a school so that their children could get this type of education that we were doing more throughout their day. And so the Alpine Learning Group was started by myself and a colleague and several other families. And we started with 4 children in the basement of a community house in Alpine, New Jersey.
Right.
Which is actually where the fundraiser is going to be on April 22nd, which is nice to be back where we started.
Absolutely.
And so we slowly grew over a period of time, and we're now located in Paramus, and we have 2 beautiful buildings and a campus setting, and serve hundreds of children with autism.
What ages are the children at your school?
So we have a couple of different programs. We have a toddler program where we work with children as soon as they're diagnosed, sometimes as young as 19 months, up until age 3 in their homes, helping their families, training their parents. And then we have a school program, which is a New Jersey Department of Education approved private school, which allows us to receive tuition dollars. And those children are ages 3 to 21. And then we have an adult program for individuals with autism, 21 on until adulthood.
That's fantastic,
Yeah,
because
so-
often you wonder what happens to these children after they graduate.
That's right.
So it's wonderful that you have that kind of a program. Now, do children from public school come to your program?
Yes. So all of our students are funded through the state education department. And so students might come to us because their public school might not have a program that will meet their needs. Their needs might be beyond what the public school can provide for them. And so they will come to us. We have a very intensive program, all based on the principles of applied behavior analysis. Sure. So you use the term, we use the term ABA to describe those services. And so the children receive a very intensive program. And when they can and when they're ready, we'll send them back to their local school, which is Jodi went through our program and she transitioned back to her public school program.
Jodi, how old were you when you started the Alpine Learning Group?
I was 3.5 when I started Alpine Learning Group.
You were tiny. And how old were you when you left the Alpine Learning Group?
12.5.
12.5? Did you like it there?
I didn't like it there, for I liked my public school more than that.
So you had to get used to it, right? Was it an adjustment?
Yeah.
You are fantastic, Jodi.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm so happy that you're here today. And Mary, I wanted to ask you, you're doing a fundraiser.
I'm a musician, singer, and of course my sister Bridget is doing amazing things with Alpine. And I had a vision. I know a lot of wonderful, powerful women singers in Bergen County, and I thought it would be so great if we could all get together and do a fundraiser for my sister's school. And then I thought of the name Bergen County Babes because it's kind of catchy. Yeah. And, of course, we got Jodi on board, Jodi DiPiazza, who's famous here in New Jersey. And, we did the fundraiser 2 years ago, and we did really well. We raised $3,000 for Alpine Learning Group. We have 6 girl singers. We have a pianist and an upright bassist this year, Brian Glassman on bass, and Ilya Maslov on piano. And we're going to be doing swing tunes, Broadway tunes. We have a new opera singer, up-and-coming opera singer, Teresa Carlomagno.
This is going to be fantastic.
Yep. We have Janine Schwartz from the band Second Contact. We have Maria Whitney, who actually sings with the Zeke Carey band, and Wendy Meyer, who has her own band too. And they all play out in the club circuit. And also my friend Janine, who's in the show, she's a cantor in a synagogue.
Is she?
Yeah. And she has a rock band called Second Contact, and she's going to be doing some, like, My Funny Valentine, like something totally different than what she usually does.
That's fantastic. And cantors have beautiful voices, so I'm sure she's wonderful.
Yeah.
Mary, when did you start performing?
I started performing when I was 16 in high school.
Did you have a band in high school?
Yeah, I did. It was called Euphoria.
That's a great name.
And we did the talent show, and we got like a standing ovation, and we did more than one song, and then we got fired because we did more than one song. I did Rock and Roll by Led Zeppelin, but it was great. I had such a great time, and I traveled a lot. I went to Israel. I was in a band in Israel. We did a tour out there. We also, with my gospel band, we did British Columbia and Washington State, and I've done a lot of
do you like
interesting
touring?
things. Yeah, it was fun. I mean,
You got to see a lot of different places and things.
Music brings you a lot of places that normally you wouldn't go, right, Jodi? Mm-hmm. You should tell them where you've been.
Yeah, where have you been? Where have you been? I understand that you played with a famous singer, Katy Perry.
Yeah, it was at the Beacon Theater in New York City.
At the Beacon Theater?
Yeah.
Wow, what was that called? Was that
Night of Too Many Stars.
What was that like, Jodi?
I've got to meet a lot of other famous people.
Really? Like who?
For example, Carly Rae Jepsen.
Oh my God, I love her.
Who was in the same year of the show as Katy Perry.
And did you perform with them?
Just Katy Perry.
What did you sing?
Firework, one of her songs.
I love that song. What is Katy Perry like?
Now she's in her 30s and she has a haircut than before.
She doesn't have blue hair anymore?
Either blonde or pink.
That's fantastic. And how old were you when you started singing and playing the piano, Jodi?
I was 3 when I started singing, and I was 4 when I started playing piano.
You are so talented.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You are such a mature young lady. How old are you, Jodi?
15.
And Jodi's going to be singing a song for us today. What you're going to be singing?
To Make You Feel My Love by Adele.
I could offer you a warm
make your dreams come true. No, there's nothing that I wouldn't do. Go to the ends of the earth for you, to make you feel my love. Go to the ends of the earth for you, to make you feel my love.
Do you do any music programs at your school?
Yes, we do have a music teacher that comes, and the students can either take guitar or piano. Most of them take piano. And in fact, when Jodi was little, when she was at the school program, when she was around 3.5, we started to work with her and saw that she was really interested in music. Remember, Jodi, when I used to play notes when your back was turned to the piano and you could name all the notes from a very young age.
And
So she's got perfect pitch. She can name all the notes and combinations of notes, things that are very hard.
And also a teacher there also came over for my piano lessons one year.
That's right. So we helped and supported Jodi when she started at the Manus Music Conservatory, which is a very famous music school, which she attends and is very successful with. And recently started conducting, right?
Yep.
I think that's wonderful. This is a real success story.
Yes.
Now,
it is.
with your students, do you find what their strengths are? Do they have to work for things? With ABA, don't they generally work?
Yeah, so,
work
you know,
for things that they like to make them more motivated.
That's right. So a lot of what we do is based on the principles of positive reinforcement and finding things that children really like. And they have to engage in lots of hard work. Remember, Jodi? It was a lot of hard work, right?
Yeah.
And what are some things you worked for?
Snacks, the playground, I can't remember.
Videos, things like that you
Or
like to listen to,
computers.
computer. So the children are involved in a pretty intensive program, so there has to be some payoff for them to want to participate. And also some of the responses that they're learning are difficult and challenging, so we try to find some activities that they like so that they can be rewarded for participating. And so it's really based on that very positive reinforcement philosophy.
And you find great success with that?
Yeah, I mean, all of our children make progress, and certainly Jodi is a success story, and all of our students are success stories. You know, we have children start with us who aren't able to go to restaurants with their families, and over time they're able to learn how to do some, really important things that their families really want them to be able to do. Of course, they learn, to communicate, and many learn academic programs as well. But, for many families, the small successes are really important, and they could be as simple as being able to go and get their hair cut without tantruming, for example.
That's so true what you're saying, that how important the small successes are.
Yeah. And we work really closely with families to make sure that the family's needs are being met in the process.
Which is wonderful to have parental involvement, because if you're not working as a team,
That's right.
It could be that much more challenging. So most of the families are very involved.
That's right.
With the students and the teachers. And do you have a behaviorist?
Oh, yeah.
I know you're a behaviorist as well.
That's right.
I know you're a psychologist and a behaviorist.
Yes. So we have a number of behavior therapists, behavior analysts who work in the program and help work with the teachers and guide programming and so on. What is the student
to teacher ratio in your school?
So we have actually a 1-to-1 ratio. So there's one adult for every child in the program in the younger grades. And then as the students get older and we begin to work more in groups, we thin that out a little bit. But for the most part, we have an intensive 1-to-1 program.
Which is wonderful.
Yeah, so they get a lot of instruction.
And do they have free time also to?
Well, the free time is used productively. So we try to, certainly children have free access to different activities and they have things that they're working for, but we even during our free time make it as meaningful as possible for them. And, for some children with autism, they don't know how to direct their own time. They might engage in repetitive behavior. And so we help them to be able to organize their time and organize themselves during different play activities.
It's intense. If you got a chance to visit the school, it's really incredible. It's very touching, very moving.
I would love to. Are you involved in this school at
No,
all?
I just
'Cause you-
stop by every now and then.
Do you? And
Yeah.
Mary's always supported my work at the school and comes to the fundraisers and donates money. And so it's really great that she's doing this event. So it's an opportunity for us to collaborate and, do something meaningful for the school. And I went last year to the event, and it's really spectacular. So, and it's an enjoyable night, and it's open to families and kids, and anybody can come, and it's going to be a great event. It's April 22nd at the Alpine Community House.
April 22nd at the Alpine Community House. And do you
In
do
the
this
evening.
every year, Mary?
I hope to make it every year. I did it 2 years ago, and we'll see what happens.
It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, but it's worth it. You could donate money to a charity, but I think it's more meaningful if you do an event and you bring people together, because that raises awareness and it makes connections and it makes it a lot more fun, right? Mm-hmm. And working together as women, and supporting each other and, learning from each other. I learn a lot from Jodi.
I could see that. I
Yep.
could see why. I
She's
could
great.
definitely see why. What made you get involved with special needs students and starting a school? What
Well,
brought
we
you
have a
into
brother
that?
with Down syndrome, and so he's younger than us. And so we grew up in a family where no limits were set on him, and he had to do everything we did as anyone else in the family. And our parents did a really good job of integrating him into our family life. And I always worked with people with disabilities, so I never had the regular job of waitressing. I worked in group homes. I taught preschool. So, slowly but surely over that period of time, I started to focus on autism. And I got my first child with autism assigned to me through a program that I was working in, a respite care program. And I just fell in love. I fell in love with him, and I fell in love with the kind of intervention that we were doing and seeing the progress. And, one thing led to another. And I feel very fortunate, and I feel, that I started something that I really liked, and then it ended up continuing. So, I feel very fortunate about that.
It's funny. She likes working with kids, and I like working with geriatrics.
She works with the elderly. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
It's
an
always like
occupational
that.
therapist in the morning. I work at Care One at Valley.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, in Westwood, New Jersey. And I've been with Care One now for 18 years, and I work with, older people who have disabilities. So we got the whole scheme.
Isn't that
We're in the helping profession.
But it's always like that. You're always like you veer to one either children or seniors. It's always like that. You never know where your interests are going to
Yeah.
fall. Where they're gonna. Lie.
That's her gift. She definitely has a gift.
Jodi now comes back and volunteers at Alpine.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
What do you
That's
What do
awesome.
you do at Alpine now?
I go see the children, and the teachers might I might be the assistant of the teachers that are working with them.
Do you like that?
Yeah. And the teachers really want me back there sometime.
I'm sure they do. They must love seeing you. Because they worked with you for all of these years, and now they get to see you.
I mean, the new ones too.
All the new teachers are happy to have you there, right? Because you helped them.
And
Yeah.
you do some activities like read to the students.
Or do that card thing where you say, touch the card, and they would touch it.
That's called discrete trial teaching, right? Remember, you learned how to do some teaching.
Yeah.
And also, I saw you lead a lesson once, like a group lesson with the smartboard. Remember that? Yeah. So she's a
You know how to use the smart board?
I think so.
I wish you could teach me because I have trouble with the smart board myself. To me, that's like a whole. I need a whole lesson in that. What age children do you like to work with, Jodi?
Any age.
Any age you like? What do you want to do when you grow up?
I would become a musician
A musician. That would be great. That would be great.
or a music teacher.
A musician and a music teacher. That is fabulous. And you play the piano, right?
Yeah, and I sing and compose.
You are amazing. Do you know that? And
Yeah.
beautiful too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here.
You play guitar too, though,
Um,
don't you? And clarinet?
I dropped out of orchestra, unfortunately.
Oh, I'd love to hear that story. That sounds interesting. But you know what? You do what you enjoy doing, right?
Yeah.
And I think you must have amazing parents. Do you provide any clinical services for
So
for the
Alpine
students?
started out as a school, and we are we have a range of clinical services. So we recently actually rebranded as an autism center. And so we have, in our autism center, we do diagnostics, for example. We provide behavioral consultation, behavioral assessments. We provide short-term behavioral interventions. So for families struggling with, for example, feeding problems or sleeping problems or toileting issues with their children, they can come to us, we'll do an assessment, and we'll guide some treatment for them. We also do skill-based assessments and a range of clinical services and parent training to really help families be able to initiate treatment within their homes. And so we're not just a school anymore, we're really a wide range of clinical services.
And do you see, is there hope for families who have students who have children that are autistic?
There's a lot of hope. I mean, it can be a challenging disability for families, but there is hope. And if you came to the school, you'd see children learning all kinds of things that historically people would thought would be impossible for people with autism. But, learning how to interact with their peers, learning how to be able to read and write and engage with their friends, and really cooperate with certain things with their families that before they wouldn't have been able to. And so there is a lot of hope for families, but it is a lot of work, and it's a complex disability, and families need the support to be able to help their children in their homes and to be able to access resources in the community. So there's hope, but it takes a lot of work, and it's places like Alpine Learning Group that are there for families to really help them navigate all of the different services that they're going to need to help their child.
There's another benefit going on as well, I understand, the biking.
Yes, so we have the Go the Distance for Autism bike event in June, and it's a collaboration between Alpine and 4 other schools in the Bergen County area, and we raise money. We have over 1,000 riders. It's actually the biggest North Jersey bike event ever. We're probably the only one in North New Jersey, but we're the biggest, and it gets over 1,000 riders, and it's a huge day. It's a family fun day as well, but people can go on our website and find out about that at alpinelearninggroup.org.
I'm so happy to hear that all these great events are happening and for such a great cause. And again, April is Autism Awareness Month.
Coming up next, I will be accompanying Mary on Love, Love, by Natalie Cole.
L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore, and love is all that I can give to you, and love is more than just a game for two. Two in love can make it. Take my heart, but please don't break it. Love was made for me and you. And L is for the way you look, you're looking at me. And O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore, and love is all that I can give to you, and love is more than just a game for two. Two in love can make it. Take my heart, but please don't break it. Love was made for me, and love was made for me, and love was made for me and you.
This is so great to have you guys on the show. Thank you.
Thank you
for having us.
Bridget and Mary and Jodi. It was great to meet you all. I hope you'll all come back.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching the Randy Lupo Show. Thanks for checking out the show. Be sure to follow Randy on Twitter at Randy Lupo. Visit her website at randylupo.com. Thanks to Broadband Box Office and VK Media. Have a great evening.